Good morning. I'm Andy Myers at Weiss Research, and this is your morning market alert for Tuesday, June 14th. U.S. futures are following global stocks higher after a Chinese inflation report pointed to strong growth in the world's second largest economy. May consumer prices rose 5.5% to a three-year high. That follows a 5.3% gain in April, and it's the fastest increase since July of 2008. Meanwhile, producer prices rose 6.8%, unchanged from April. Economists had expected that number to decline. Following the data, the People's Bank of China raised the proportion of funds banks must set aside as reserves. It's the sixth increase this year, and it brings the reserve ratio requirement up to 21.5% for large banks and 19.5% for smaller ones. Right now, U.S. investors are digesting reports on producer prices and retail sales. We'll bring you those numbers and the market reaction after the opening bell. On the corporate front, the technology and telecom sectors will be in focus today, after Nokia agreed to settle all patent litigation with Apple. The specific terms of the deal weren't disclosed, but Nokia said Apple will make a one-time payment as well as ongoing royalties reported to be worth about €4 per iPhone. The agreement should help Nokia boost its bottom line as it struggles to stay competitive in the smartphone market. The Finnish company recently lowered its earnings outlook for the current quarter and said its shares have slumped 43% so far this year. Right now, Nokia is jumping nearly 4% in the pre-market after a 2% gain in Helsinki, and Apple is set to open modestly higher as well. Separately, Swedish telecommunications gear maker Ericsson is buying privately owned Telcordia Technologies for close to $1.2 billion. Telcordia's owners, Providence Equity Partners and Warburg Pincus, put the software company up for sale earlier this year. We're also keeping an eye on shares of Hewlett Packard this morning. The technology giant announced another round of management changes, including the departure of its Chief Administration Officer and Chief Information Officer. Meanwhile, the Executive Vice President of HP's enterprise business, Ann Livermore, will step down from that role and join the company's board of directors. Hewlett Packard's CEO previously said he planned to hire a new executive vice president in charge of services after issuing a disappointing quarterly report and outlook, and there may be more management changes still on the way. One big stock winner this morning is Best Buy. It's up more than 6% in the pre-market after its fiscal first quarter profit topped estimates. That's despite a decline in profit and sales during the quarter. Best Buy also maintained its full-year earnings outlook and said sales will be at the higher end of previous forecasts. And finally, Cliffs Natural Resources is set to open higher after it raised more than $850 million with a public offering. The mining company plans to use the funds to repay debt incurred as part of its takeover of Consolidated Thompson Iron Mines. That's the latest from Weiss Research. We'll be back after the opening bell with all the economic data and market reaction.